another video. In this video, we're going to do a walkthrough to some of our workflows from our workflow snapshot on IDXAddons.com. This is the first part of a video series where we're going to share how to use these workflow automations on your setup, how to customize them, and understanding more how they work. All right, so in this case, we're going to get started with one of the most useful workflows for this from this list. And we're going to talk about send contact to IDX Broker. So we provide two workflows in this folder. And the purpose of those is that let's say you have a list coming from an ad, coming from your CRM, and you would like them to be set first an account on IDX Broker, which will allow you to set up safe search for your leads. Or also we have the option if you know, or if you are working in specific areas, you can create saved links and automatically assign them to your upcoming leads. So these two workflows are really important if you're trying to transfer data from one place to the other in a easier way. So let's get started. First thing first, we're gonna find this under the folder send contacts to IDX Broker. Let's see the first one. So this is a workflow automation. We're going to start with IDX and contact to IDX Broker. Please note that all of this workflow automation include a link to a tutorial. Please make sure you read these tutorials because that's really helpful to understanding the overall view of this apps and widgets we provide. So this workflow is only to create an account on IDX Broker. The next one that I'm going to show you is going to allow you to first create a contact on IDX Broker, and second, we're going to assign a save link to them, right? So an important note here is that most of these workflows, since they require API calls, there is a specific limit depending on the account you have an IDX Broker that we will like, or actually we need to make sure you don't surpass those limits, because in the worst scenario, well, that data transfer is not going to happen and this workflow is not going to work anymore. So to avoid this, we're going to set up a drip mode in this type of workflows. This is already set up in the workflow snapshot. As you can see, we're going to batch one contact every 4 minutes. This is an appropriate limit. This is going to give you peace of mind that this workflow, if you send 200 contacts through this workflow, is going to automatically drip them to IDX Broker without any issues. Okay, now the trigger. In this case, it automatically contains the trigger as tag added send to IDX. As the name says, we're just sending this contact. Let's say I have it on my CRM and I want to send it to IDX Broker. I can just tag them by send to IDX and that would automatically trigger this workflow for that lead. Now keep in mind that this is fully customizable. You can change it later. You can allow more options, but please make sure that it is clear for your setup and that it's going to make your work easier. All right, next step is the drip mode, like I mentioned, really important, and we have the webhook. Now, as you can see, the webhook is already set up, and we are requiring some custom data. This would be first name, last name, email, phone, and contact ID. This is really important. Please make sure the leads that you're sending through this workflow contain email. This is really important. Without an email, the webhook is going to mark an error backed, and it's not going to work for that specific lead. So please make sure the contacts that you're passing through this workflow, they have an email in file. And finally, we're going to add a tag IDX lead, meaning that this lead that just went through the workflow is now located also on IDX Broker. Now, moving on to the next workflow, also located in the same folder, it is IDX send contact to IDX Broker plus IDX save link assigned. The purpose of this automation is that we are going to add a contact into IDX Broker, and we are also assigning them a save link. Let's say this will allow you to set up a default search to the contacts that come through this workflow. Again, this also includes a tutorial. Please make sure to review this. If you have any further questions, this will clarify a lot of information. Please make sure to review the tutorials included in the workflows. So now let's dive into the workflow. First step we have, it's a trigger. Now, by default, it is currently set up as tag added send to IDX, but again, this is fully customizable. You can change the tag. You can use a different parameter, custom fields. I mean, the limit is endless. Just again, please keep in mind that this should be helpful in your setup. Instead of adding more extra steps, you can customize it to make it way more easier for you. Moving on, we have the drip mode. Again, this is really important. Every time we're using a webhook, we just need to double check. Is this sending leads through IDX Broker? Is this going to require API calls? We need a drip. This drip is really important to avoid any stops in the automation. In the sending data over one place to the other, it's really important that we enable this action in our workflow. It is already set up by default from the snapshot again, but please make sure to not delete this and keep it as it is. Batch size 1, drip interval 4 minutes. 1 lead every 4 minutes. Now, moving on to the webhook. This is really important in this specific workflow. Let's first check out the URL. If we scroll all the way to the end of the webhook URL, you're gonna see a text that says replace saved link ID. All right, this is really important, okay? Because we do need to replace that link ID. If we don't do that, this workflow is not going to work. It's going to send you back an error until you add this save link. Now, where do we find this save link? We're gonna log in into our IDX Broker account. We're gonna then click on Design, Website, and then we're gonna go all the way to Save Links. And as you can see here, I already have a save link, but you can create as many as you need. Again, this is just a default search that you can easily set up to a batch of contacts. So I can use address, advanced search, basic search, etc. Map search, for example, Polygon. So there's a lot of options for there. Now, which one is the ID for the save link? It's just really easy. We're gonna find it in the column that says ID number. We're gonna copy it and going back to our workflow. Now, on our workflow, we're just going to replace all of this text over here, and we're just pasting the save link ID. Awesome. Once we finish that, just keep in mind that all the leads coming through this webhook are going to be assigned to the save link. Please make sure that you know that the leads that are coming into this workflow are interested in that search criteria. Okay, for example, this is a search criteria for this price range, but you can select again different options. Please make sure again, since we are also creating a contact on IDX Broker, we need first name, last name, email is really important, and phone number. If email is missing, it's going to throw back an error on the webhook. So please make sure the leads that you're pulling through this workflow have an email. Okay, so let's review again what we're gonna do on the webhook. We're gonna place the save link ID, and we're gonna make sure that our leads include email, phone, first name, last name. Okay, we're gonna save. Please make sure to save. Awesome. And finally, we're going to tag them as IDX lead, meaning that they are already on IDX Broker. And here you have it. Here is how you can send your leads to IDX Broker and also send new leads to IDX Broker and assign them to a default search. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, and we will see you on our next video.